I want to start with the 5 things that I think you need to know about from overnight, things that you missed. And let's start with coronavirus and new numbers out this morning on these infections, ticking up slightly over the past week, thanks to scattered outbreaks in just about every region of the country. So where it stands right now, we have uneven progress, as you know. Like we see Arizona going down now, New Mexico going down, but now we're seeing upticks in West Virginia and Kentucky. So a few weeks ago, we had Texas going up, New Mexico going up, Arizona going up, California, now they're down. Now we have Wisconsin up 52%. We have Michigan up 19% in coronavirus cases. North Dakota up at 17%. Nebraska, this one's one to watch. Of course, they rolled back social distancing guidelines last week. Oklahoma is up as well. Texas up 10%. So again, the U.S. saw an average of about 37,000 new cases per day over the past week. The daily rate of new cases increased in 17 states and declined in 13. It's like a teeter-totter, back and forth. And also testing fell by over 6% from the week before. The U.S. averaged just under 695,000 tests per day. And there's no real clear geographic trend at work to say it's the middle of the country, it's the southern states, it's all a mishmash right now. I mean, this is America, right? When you have other countries that had a state system in place and the government came in and said, we're going to do one thing and this is how we're going to do it. You didn't have 50 states to deal with that all had a different plan. Some are saying no masks. Some are saying, hey, get rid of social distancing guidelines out in Nebraska. And others are being more stringent. So there's the tale of coronavirus at this hour. Let's talk about retail, the second big story that I think you need to know about. You may have noticed your local mall has been decimated. Local strip malls have been decimated. New data out about retail this morning, and U.S. consumers increased retail spending in August, but just a little bit for the 4th straight month. But it is low. I mean, this is showing that this recovery is sputtering. Right now, it's like that chugging along, very, very slow. So, people are not buying back to school backpacks and all of that stuff. This has dwindled down significantly. And also Yelp showing small businesses, they just released their data, shows 60% of businesses are permanently closed now since this pandemic started. This is troubling from Yelp. On Wednesday, they released their latest economic impact report, and it showed that as of August 31st, 163,000 businesses that have indicated on Yelp they plan to close permanently. That's a 23% increase since mid-July. Permanent closures have now reached 97,000 businesses. That's 60% of closed businesses that won't be reopening. Among them, hotels. Hotels, a major problem as well, and this is the latest data on the hotel front. Hotels are just being crushed. Several big-name properties have fallen behind in their debt or have closed altogether. Of course, we know that the country has overbuilt a lot of hotels in this country, so they had a lot of extra inventory anticipating additional travel. That's not going to happen. What's going to happen to these hotels? I mean, you can only turn so many of them into low-cost apartment housing. We'll see if that actually happens, but a lot of hotels permanently going out of business. The third thing that I think you need to know about today, the FBI released their most violent state statistics. Can you guess? I'm just going to ask everyone in the chat right now. Can you guess what you think is the most violent state in America? Let me check in the chat and see if anyone actually can get this. If you read the newsletter this morning, you might have actually gotten it correct. Did you read the morning newsletter? Because we included this story in that newsletter, but I wanted to dive a little deeper into it today on the show. Does anyone get it? Did anyone get it? Well, the answer is Alaska. That's right. Alaska is the state that is the most violent state in the country, according to the FBI. These are according to the Uniform Crime Reporting Program. Violent crime is up, defined as murder, non-negligent manslaughter, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. And in 2018, there were approximately 1.2 million violent crimes. That's a reduction and down by about 3% since 2017. But Alaska comes in at the top of this based on population. So 885 people out of 100,000. That's exactly what that number is for Alaska. And then the safest state in the country, go up to the beautiful state of Maine, is the safest state in the country, followed by Vermont, New Hampshire, Virginia, and Connecticut. They were the least violent of all states in the country. Was your state on the list? Let me know in the chat if you agree with that. Hey, any Apple fans out there? And we're talking Green Party stuff today, and one of the most environmentally friendly companies will actually talk. I want to talk to with Howie Hawkins a little bit about that and what these big tech companies are doing to try to keep some of these rare earth minerals from getting back into the system and recycling programs, et cetera. And Apple always says in their press conferences that they go to great lengths to do that. We'll see if that's the case. Anyway, Apple just rolled out their brand new software today, or actually overnight. So anyone that has an iPad, an Apple Watch, an iPhone, you can now update your software to iOS 14. There's a bunch of new stuff on here, a lot of new privacy things that you want to put in place so people can't be snooping on you. You can do new home screen widgets as well, which is really cool. You can pin conversations inside of your text messages, so you can pin them right to the top for iMessages. A lot of really cool things. Inside the iPad, you can watch videos now that you don't have to just be watching the video. You can float it around on your screen, multitask, and do other things. But anyway, all you need to do is go to the settings menu on your device, click on General, and then click on Software Update. Make sure it's plugged in, and you'll get the new iOS 14. So I always got to remind people, like my mom, I have to tell her, like, hey, Mom, it's time to update your software. She's like, oh, thanks for telling me. I didn't know about it. So here's my public service announcement to any of you iOS users out there, as I am one. And here's the fifth thing you need to know about today. People are stupid. That's right. Let's go down to what happened in this Target in, Florida. No, I'm sorry, Florida, but at any time we have one of these stories, you know it's going to be in Florida. And this is what happened with a group of Trump supporters rolled through a Target, and they were blasting the Twisted Sister song, We're Not Going to Take It Anymore, asking everyone there to take off their masks. Take off their masks. All these Trump supporters saying, get your masks off. We're not going to take it anymore. They had a speaker with them, and they were playing Twisted Sister. We're not going to take it. Telling everyone to take off their masks. You hear all these people saying, you idiots. This is the future of America? I sure hope not. My God. Well, Dee Snider, of course, the guy that wrote that song for Twisted Sister, took to Twitter and said, hey, idiots, you don't have the right to use my song for your classless, moronic move. Stop playing my music when you walk through a Target without your masks on, you idiots. There you go. Those are the 5 things I think you need to know about this morning. Don't be an idiot. Don't be a moron. And most of all, don't be a D.